Hi, it's Troy, and I just want to show you how quickly you can make an amazing looking intro with just Camtasia and TechSmith Assets. But before we get started, let's check out the intro. Alright, as I said, I used Camtasia 2022 along with TechSmith Assets subscription service, which provides customizable graphics along with stock images, video, and audio. If you have any questions about the products, check out the link in the description. Everyone has their own process when making an intro. I like to start with the music because I find it easier to match the visuals to the audio than the other way around. I'm going to start my search for music on the TechSmith Assets for Camtasia website. You can see here that there's different categories. In this case, I need audio, so I will click here, and we need music. I'm making a demo video or a hype video. I want it to be a little bit up-tempo, so what I'm going to do, you see we have these filters over on this side. I'll go down to mood, and action sports seems like a category that might have some upbeat music. So I'll hit apply. It's going to update the music, and if I hover over any music, it'll start playing. I'll just scroll through this to find the music that I need. And this is the song that I'm going to choose. And the reason that I like it is that there is a build-up at the beginning of the song, and then there's a beat drop, which allows me to sort of emphasize something visually at the same time. So this is the song that I'm going to use. What I'm going to do is I'm going to click this Send to Camtasia button, and it's going to ask me which library I want to add it to, and you can click this drop down and choose which one that you want to add it to. In this case, I want to add it to this one, and I'll click Import, and that music shows up here. Now I can just click and drag it onto the timeline below. So listening to this music, you can hear the build up. Here's like a new section that's also build up. Okay, so here was the beat drop right here, and I can zoom in if I want to get a closer look. Alright, so this is the beat drop right here. So that's the point I want to emphasize. We can see that that happens at almost 20 seconds, 19 seconds and change right here. So that's a little bit longer than I want my intro to be. So I'm going to look for opportunities to cut out sections of this to make that shorter. So as we listen to this is a little bit slower of a build-up. So this is that new section. So I think I can easily cut out this first section here. So I'll split it there, and I'll just delete this section. And we'll listen to the rest. Let's see, how long is this? So the beat drop happens at 10. We want it to play for a little bit longer after that, so let's listen to what's after it. So we'll probably want to end the intro right around here. So in this little gap, why don't we choose here, split it again, and we'll delete that section. All right, so what we have is 14 seconds. That sounds like a pretty good length for what I'm looking to do. So why don't we keep this audio track right here. The default background or canvas color in Camtasia is black, but I think for this video I want to add a little bit more visual interest. So if I wanted to change it to another solid color, I could just right click and choose Project Settings, change the color here, and select any of these colors. But in this case, I think I want to use a color gradient instead. Luckily for me, Camtasia already has gradients built into the Camtasia 2022 library. So once I select that library, I can go down to this fills and overlays section. I can look through here. You can see there's a bunch of different gradients. I'll choose multicolor. You can see there's a bunch of different options. I'll choose this gradient number 7, drag it down to my timeline. As you can see, you can customize the colors over on this side. And I've made a theme for Camtasia for Snagit colors, so I'll choose that one. I want this top color to be white. I'll choose a light blue for the second color, and we'll keep the orange for the third color. And this will be the gradient that we use for the video. Next, I'm looking to add a visual effect on top of the background we just added. And for that, I'm going to go to the website for TechSmith Assets for Camtasia. If you remember, this is where we got our audio at the beginning, and now we're going to look for a visual effect, and for that I'm going to go to Videos and Effects. As you can see, we have some different visual effects. A lot of these say alpha channel, and that's what I'm looking for because that will give me a visual effect with a transparent background so that you'll be able to see the gradient behind it. So this one looks good, so I am going to send this to Camtasia. Now it's going to ask me which library I'd like to add it to. In this case, I'll choose this one, select import, and you can see it next to our music from earlier. I'll just drag this onto the timeline. You'll see the properties over on this side, and one that you may want to adjust is the opacity, and that will adjust how transparent this is. So if I slide it all the way to 0, you can see the full gradient, and as I start moving it over, you start to see some of that smoke. So we can move it over, say right here, and let's see what this looks like. And maybe we want to make that just a little bit more opaque, and why don't we leave it at 65? What I want to do now is add a company logo to this intro, and I can do that by clicking this plus button, selecting the file, and importing it into Camtasia. Same as before, add it to the library I want, and wait for it to import, and here it is. And I can just click and drag this down to the timeline. And I want to make this same length as the music. So there we go. I want to slowly fade this logo in, and I can do that by adding the custom animation. So I go to the animations tab, grab the custom one, and drag it down. I want to have this fade in pretty slowly. So I'll make it to right about there. I can make it fade in by bringing the playhead to the beginning and changing the opacity over here to 0. So that makes it disappear. And I can come over here to the end of the animation. The opacity is 100%. So let's see what that looks like. Alright, the smoke kind of disappears abruptly, so I want to add a fade transition to that, and I think I also want to add it to the logo itself at the end. Let's see how this looks. So the beat drop is right here. So what I want to do is I'm going to split this logo in a couple spots. That's so I can add an animation where it shakes as the beat drops. So I'll split it here, and the end of the beat drop is right about here. So I'll split it again, and I will add the shake animation by going to behaviors, and this pulsating one, I'll apply it to this one. You can see over here in the properties panel, for the in, I actually want to change this to none, and the out, I want to change it to none as well. And during, I want it to pulsate. right now, if we rub through this, it's not really shaking, it's very slow. And if we want it to shake along with the beat, we want the shake to be really quick. So the loop time right here is 1 second, which is going to be too long for what we're looking to do. So how about we change this to 1/10 of a second and see how that looks. So that's a pretty quick shake. I think that'll be good. All right, so let's kind of watch this through. Music kind of abruptly stops, so I think what we'll want to do is just add an audio point, add another audio point at the end there, and just kind of fade this out as it goes. Let's give it a final watch. And there you have it. We made a great looking intro in just a few steps. If you enjoyed the video, give it a like. I would love to hear any of your feedback in the comments. And if you want to see more videos like this, make sure you subscribe. Thanks for watching.